program comes from a belief that we have to be the change we want to see in the world. It's no use for us to continue to complain about how broken our education system is. It's an opportunity for us to do what we feel needs to be done. I had a funny moment recently because just after the Dinner King scenarios, we came up with this idea of active citizens together for South Africa. And how can citizens play a more meaningful role? This is in 2009. And a little while ago, I got an email from someone saying, do you know what's happening? Dr. Ramphele is copying your initiative. I said, no, you have no idea. She's not copying anything. She has inspired everything that we're doing. So soon we will lose this, and we will be talking about active citizens movement for social change, which you'll hear more about, and there's some beautiful brochures outside, which has just been delivered, which you can take and hear more about this movement. Just very brief background as to where we are. Ridwan and I started in April 2010, and we said, let's test this idea of a business leader working with a principal and see whether we can mobilize change at that school. In February last year, the people who you're going to hear from now joined the group, and by that time we were, I think it was 18 of us in total, 9 principals, 9 business leaders. Then we launched Durban, and we have with us tonight 2 people from Durban. We're going to hear from them. Joburg added their first leadership circle. You'll see the acronym LC, Leadership Circle, which is these 10 partners, 10 principals. And Cape Town, another group, then Johannesburg, then another 2 leadership circles in Cape Town. And right now, we have 56 business leaders signed up as partners to 56 principals in 16 months, which we think is quite an achievement. Organizations who have sponsored Partnerships for Possibility, there's a whole list, and we can share with you later more about it, but we do specifically want to acknowledge Nedbank for their 6 partnerships, Hollard for 4, Cape Span 3, Woolworths 3, and PDG for 2. Those are the only organizations so far who have said we want to go, really take this into our organizations. But we're starting to hear Investec made a commitment this week of 5 partnerships, Worldsview Consulting made another commitment for 8, and so that's how things are starting to happen for us. We have received some seed funding from Umthunzini BBBE Trust, and our partners in this endeavor are University of the Western Cape, who's our academic partner, SAPA, South African Principals Association, have been an enormous supporter right from the beginning, and Rudolf from Multidimensions has given us a fabulous new website. We're really excited about that. Thank you for that, Rudolf.
This program offers us an opportunity to create a sense of hopefulness, to restore the dignity of each and every one. And so as a principal, if you are supposed to develop or nurture the community and you are depressed and you are lonely in the sense that you are overwhelmed by all the demands that's being placed upon you, how can you move a community forward? And this is what this program has brought about. It has given us hope. It has restored our self-worth. And in 2010, in 17th of July, we had our first Madiba Day. And we had a wonderful day. But one of the lessons we learned is that as a staff, we need to be a community ourselves. And so we set about the task of team building, where we can now quite clearly say that the dark days at Kanamaya Primary School, where we had political running battles, negativity, you know how it goes on at the staffs, we have now a greater sense of cohesion, which has resulted in the school having one vision. I think a hallmark of our school is that we believe that Kanamaya wants to be the school of choice in Grassy Park. And once we have a team that is committed in ensuring that every learner reaches his full potential, we are on a road, I believe, of success.
And then for my teachers, Professor O'Connell at Metropole South, there's a library named after you. Now, I'm a dedicated principal that uses that facility. It's not just, a lot of principals see it as a white elephant just standing there, but I use it. And at the Brian O'Connell Resource Center at Metropole South, at the beginning of the year, there's a tape by Ben Zander, Live with Possibility, and you can hire it. And there's a 2-hour or 4-hour workshop that you can do with your staff. So I did that. I did the training because I'm schooled in the Life with Possibility philosophy. And so I did the workshop. I didn't need an outside provider because I can do it. So I did the training with my staff. So my staff is alive with possibility. My school, we think in yellow, possibility. We accept kids that other schools turn away. I just did that today with a boy who's French speaking, but we can teach him English. Why? Because we are alive with possibility.
One of my favorite quotes is that you cannot lead where you yourselves are not willing to go. And so by taking me out of my comfort zone in my expert field with my specialities and gifts in a specific context and putting me in the principal's office nogal that I always used to be petrified of has just broadened my approach to my own growth and my own leadership development by introducing me to challenges that I would not normally be introduced to. So the complexity thinking and the level of doing and my level of being has just been enhanced through exposure to this opportunity.
The impact of the project on our grade 6 and 2 learners was a resounding success based on the learner and parent attendance and engagement. A real sense of community spirit was felt at this session. Both learners and parents listened without interruption to one another. Learners expressed to their parents their concerns and their dreams, whilst their parents listened and expressed their fears and hopes for their children. Through networking, our school is the only school in the Western Cape where the NGO Media Monitoring Africa has trained 2 staff members and 40 learners on children's rights.
The invitation of Symphonia to a conversation with Dr. Ramphele at her house, where we shared experiences about active citizenship, was very enlightening. Then the assistance of Symphonia and Sanlam to establish a website for the forum will spread the message of transformation of Bishop Lavis to the broader communities and might draw great opportunities to the town.
The only things that I really felt that stood out for me was safety. I mean, in corporate world, people deal with safety, so you don't have to be concerned about. Where I know Quentin's first priority is making sure that these kids are safe in the schools. And I think that's something that we don't always think about. It just comes natural. And then also the budget and kids that need to be fed. I think that is our biggest drive. Now that we've got the Bishop Lavis story sorted and we've got the commissions going, we're now going to start focusing on the school and making a difference in there. And I can't wait. As I've been privileged to be selected as the CSI leader for IT, I'm definitely going to make all things go to make a difference in the school itself.
I believe that the principals are at the very heart of any possibility of the reconstruction and development of our country, because our schools are at the very heart of that reconstruction process. So tonight is a highlight. I remember, Quentin, going to your school in 2009 or 2010, the evening, and I had a speech prepared. But when I saw the community there, and I saw the pain there, I departed from that speech completely, and I spoke that night about why will you or can you not take charge of your space? You remember it? I said, there's nothing, tomorrow, you can decide tomorrow, we will own this space. We will look after it. We will fight for it. We will work for it. And this is the message that I'm getting here tonight, that Bishop Lavis, with your help, has found the ways to begin to engage with one another respectfully in the efforts to make that a space where everyone can live a good life. Now, if we were to generalize this to all principals in the country, imagine a year or 2 or 3 is all that we'll need to transform education in this country completely. And so this activity here tonight is perhaps far more important than you imagine that it is. It's a far greater thing than you might imagine it to be, because if we succeed with this, this country may well still be a great place to live in 10 or 15 or 20 years from now. God bless you all.
A number of things happened in our school, but the one thing that she supported us in that was extremely significant and stands out for me as a highlight for the year 2011 was the character transformation program we embarked on. The Metropolitan Foundation offered to fund the training for the staff and the learners alike. Without that, we would not have been able to afford it, based on the fact that we have many demands on our fundraising to meet, because we are classed or classified as a low-fee paying, subsidized, independent school.
I recently started to coach the grade 1s and 2s netball team at Holy Cross. And they have challenged me on every single possible level that you can think of. And in a way that a corporate environment cannot compare to. I have had comments that my mouth just went, and I didn't know what to say. Well, it's been an awesome experience to me, and we've all networked and became friends, and we won't be able to walk away from that. So me and the Metropolitan Foundation would continue to support education in South Africa.
What we have done at the school is we've introduced 3 practical subjects. We've got computer applications technology, and we've got civil technology as well as hospitality. And the SG in the wisdom told me that you cannot have 3 practical subjects at your school, you must choose one. The education department can't afford it. Our reaction to that was, the community that we serve, because of the poverty in that area, I need to give those children a skill to walk away with. So when they leave school, they drop out, they at least have something to fall back on. They become employable, as it were. And that was our reasoning.
Because of the engagement at Madiba Day, we met up with Margaret Dugmore, who started a reading club, so our children are becoming more literate, and this is done after school. Then our Butterfly Project 2 had embarked on art therapy project where they created these dogs, and these dogs were made of paper mache, and there's quite a story to this because learners took a couple of weeks to complete their dogs, but in true Vrygroen style, some dogs were stolen, some didn't have an owner, so we had to start an SPCA for them, but it was a good learning curve, so we knew that we had to step in there and teach some values.
I come from a school where my learners are not from the area. 90% of my learners are black. And 85% are not from the community. And why do you think they come from so far to my school? I think because they know that their interest is at my heart, in my heart. And if you love the children and you love what you do, they will love you and love what they do.
I know that Nedbank is a huge place to work in. However, in our division, we've gone ahead and decided to take on 2 more into our little community. And we're hoping from there that it grows. But it only grows when we see some of the successes that Jenny and I have actually shared. The impact for me was, if you think about it, it humbles you. It takes you back to where you generally don't think you want to play in.
I challenge you to sit and look at the person next to you, somebody that you might not normally talk to, or even if you know each other well, and say your name, state your name, and say, I can be a partner for possibility.
I'm a daughter of 2 teachers, and so tonight I can see them smiling because you all are doing such a magnificent job to vindicate the efforts that have gone into creating this free South Africa that unfortunately has continued to fail so many of our children. But your efforts demonstrate that we can turn this education system around. What it needs is not a little bit of reform here and there. It needs total transformation, as exemplified by the total transformation that each one of you seem to be effecting in your schools. It's against that background that I want to talk to you about how we can elevate this energy. The energy that you are putting into your schools is energy that needs to be driving a wider transformation of our society. All of us here as citizens are called to a very high duty. And that is the calling that has led me. Someone was talking about being 60. I'm 64. And I have decided to go back into the trenches because our country needs us. It needs each one of you. We have a country that is the envy of many people. Show me a country that has the natural resources that we've got, the beauty that we have, whether you are in Durban or you are in Cape Town or you are in Magaliesburg. Show me a country with the diversity that we have. Show me a country with the energy and the determination of its people that are fully in display here tonight. And then explain to me how this country can fail to live the dream of being a country destined for greatness. What is missing? It's very easy to say what's missing is leadership. It's very easy to say what's missing is commitment to clean government. No. What's missing is you and I as the citizens of this country to do exactly what each of these principals who has been presenting here and their partners from business have been able to do in the microcosm of a school. We're talking about the school at the center of community. We're talking about it as a place where people grow and succeed and become the full potential that they were created to be. I am absolutely thrilled with the work that many of you are doing of incorporating the communities around you. I believe that we together as citizens of this country must not only go on this journey towards a better South Africa, but we must take along with us on that journey our families, our pupils and fellow teachers, our communities, and I was also very impressed with the involvement of religious communities from all faiths. We all need to work together to make this country the greatest country that it is destined to be. I thank you very much.